Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have set number 70672. This is a LEGO Ninjago Summer 2019 Kohl's Dirt Bike set containing 212 pieces and retailing for $19.99 in the United States. The set contains 3 minifigures, and the box is just kind of exactly what you would expect for a Ninjago set of this size. I did like how they did that wraparound box art for this wave, and then on the back it just shows you an alternate shot that actually gives you a pretty good look at the back of the vehicle. But there's really just one large build in the set, and as the title suggests, it's a dirt bike, and it's a pretty, large, oversized vehicle, as, LEGO is fond of doing, it seems. But, this one actually, I sort of like the overall design that they went with here. The last time that we got a $20 Kohl bike set was in the Possession Wave, and I actually wasn't a huge fan of that one, so, I think that just right off the bat, looks-wise, this is an improvement. It's about the same overall size, maybe a little bit thinner than that one was, because that one kind of went for the extra wide style. And this one is kind of like a half-tracked bike, which is an interesting design. And the track on the front is actually really, well done, in the sense that, even if you're on a hard surface, this has just the right amount of traction where it will spin, it won't slide unless you're swinging it side to side like that, where it can't spin, but it operates pretty smoothly. That is a stickered Technic disc that they use on the front for that orange and black design. And, they do have the gold on the back there, too, which, again, even that doesn't look too bad. I think the most distracting thing color-wise is just that one blue Technic pin. This one, even from most angles, you can't see it because it's like that, but this outer one kind of just stands out like a sore thumb. There's a little bit of tan, a little bit of yellow that you can sort of see through there, but neither of those are super duper. I guess the white, too, in there is a tiny bit out of place, but even those work pretty okay. Back here, we do have this little spear with a flag on it. Flag is stickered on both sides, as is generally typical of Ninjago sets with flags that are meant to be viewable from both sides. They do use this newer back wheel part, which there's no actual wheel in the center. This gold piece is pinned to the gold piece on the other side, and it basically just clamps that back tire in there. And that actually works pretty well, and it makes the back tire pretty lightweight as well. Just kind of an interesting design. These here are actually printed designs of these little rock work-like pieces, and those were brand new for this set. That was the one big exclusive draw, but those have been reused in the Firestone mech from 2020, so they're no longer exclusive to the set, though they are still a pretty cool design, and, it looks pretty good. And you do have just a little bit of extra sticker detailing on these panels up here. You do have stud shooters, as, all excellent LEGO bikes should include nowadays, I guess. And there's another one on the other side. I'm just not going to lose that stud, in addition to the one that just went flying. But the one other thing that's a little bit weird about this bike is, how most bikes sort of have a little bit of a kind of banking turn position where you can sort of lean them over to the side. This one you can do it, but it looks completely ridiculous, and you wouldn't really be I guess you could see this as maybe sliding underneath something, but as far as just a banked turn, that doesn't really make too much sense. You'd kind of want it in this position there, and unfortunately it doesn't balance there, so it's just a tiny bit of a missed opportunity, but that's a little bit of a nitpick. As far as getting the figure in there, 2 studs there, and then the front section is tiled. And I guess if you wanted to, you could also just take the hands and put them in the handlebars and sort of lean him forward a little bit further, and get his feet. Why can't? There we go. I had him off-centered. And you could just lean him even further forward so that his feet are just on the tiled area. And, he's not actually using those 2 studs. You could do that as well if you wanted to just lean back a little bit further. But, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this bike. Oh, I guess if you couldn't tell, this one up here was also a printed version of that part. And it's just covered up by those 3 swords, which do add a little bit of an interesting design to the front. Here we have the Cole and Kai minifigures, and the Cole minifigure is the more uncommon of these two, only otherwise appearing with that mask in the Castle of the Forsaken Emperor. Kai is probably the most common of the ninja in this suit, so he's not super hard to get, but still, he's a well done figure, I think. Both these guys have weapons, and one thing that was missing from Cole's bike was a clip to attach his hammer. He can still sit down while he has the sword in his back, but this hammer, which is a decent build, and use that dragon hilt piece, nowhere to store that, and he can't really hold it while he's driving the bike, which is a little bit unfortunate. And Kai also has that dragon hilt with a shorter katana piece from that weapon pack, and interestingly enough, that is the only piece from that weapon pack that you use, so you get the full collection of extras, just as complete spares that you can use for whatever you want to. It's interesting that they didn't just give him a gold katana, which of course they do use several of in the set, so you get an extra if you wanted to just give him a gold katana instead. But, I appreciate that they threw in the weapon pack. It's a neat thing for them to add in. And the masks are the most interesting part of this new outfit. The torsos and legs also appear on the Forbidden Spinjitzu versions of them, which come in the Land Bounty for Cole and the Fire Fang for Kai. And the torso and leg prints for both of those are good. They do have these newer armor pieces. You can see their double-sided expressions that were introduced for the Ninjago movie. And if we remove their armor pieces and their face prints, whole headpiece actually, not just the face print, that'd be a little weird. But then we can see the back printing underneath, and both of these torsos are pretty well done. I mean, I guess they're probably a slightly lower level of detail than, say, the Sons of Garmadon or Hunted suits, but, they're perfectly suitable for the Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu season suits, and look like they're supposed to, so that's a good thing, and I think the printing is pretty well done on both. And pretty simply for the bad guys, we just have this Pyro Destroyer minifigure, which is nothing special, nothing new. It appears in basically all of the fire sets from the Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, and, it's basically the kind of just regular root warrior of the fire snakes. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that it's a pretty well done figure. I just have the little scimitar sword there in copper, and that shield, which is in copper as well. I like the head mold for these guys, and it is like a little bit translucent, so you can see through the orange or trans orange parts if the light hits it correctly. And it's a cool design, and you can remove those pieces, and they are designed to fit right around this new armor piece, which just have 2 studs one stud on the back, and the torso printing underneath is a little bit like cartoonish and simplified, and I don't know, the art style for that, the printing on the torso and legs, isn't my favorite. I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't know, the fire just looks like super cartoony. But, the molds for this guy are really, really nice. Overall, I like the contents of the set. I like the build. It's, a pretty decent motorcycle as far as Ninjago motorcycles go. So I do think that this is a fun set, and this is the easiest way to get this version of Cole. So if you don't want to get the Castle of the Forsaken Emperor and you want to get the full team, this is probably the best way to do it. However, there really isn't anything super duper unique in this set, so unless you want to build, I wouldn't recommend this. I mean, there's no real reason to buy this for figures or parts, and I guess unless you really need these rock pieces and you want them for cheap. But other than that, this is kind of just pretty standard, pretty average stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's just nothing that really stands out. So I think this does end up being one of the weaker sets from Season 9. Or Season 9, Season 11. Icon numbers. But, I mean, I like it, and my first impressions were really positive, and I think it probably lives up to what I was expecting. I mean, I guess I wasn't expecting too much more, but I don't know, something about it feels a little bit underwhelming. And, I mean, that's basically just how it is. It's really, I don't know, can't really find any huge flaws, can't really find any huge draws, so it's kind of just middle of the road. And I think that if you look at this and you're like, oh, that looks kind of cool, and you want to pick it up, sure, go for it. But you know, if you look at this and you're like, oh, that's a thing, then, you know, it's really not something that you need to go out of your way to get. So, I mean, I guess the biggest draw being that Cole figure if you aren't already getting a set that includes one. So, hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.